Why adults fear learning how their brain works. Why adults fear learning how their brain works. And Bridget, I sent you a message in TikTok regarding your submission yesterday on YouTube. It's not visible for me. So if you could send me screenshots, that would be great. For your real leader, not your neural rep. Okay. So it's interesting. I've been live now for 820. That's not correct. That can't be. Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, 827 days. It's got to be 827. I'm going to say 827 and then I will verify the dates because I flip-flopped some stuff in my notes. I'm going to say 827 days. Based on us 25, that should have been 25, 26, 24, 25, 26. That should have been 27. So this is 828. 827 days consecutively. And what I have noticed is I have been able to observe human behavior in real time. And over this 827 days, I have come across many people. When I first started on my lives, I was sending out all my YouTube links. People were like, oh, I need to be organized. Here's a link for you. They wouldn't follow up. Didn't know if they used it. Didn't know. Then I did a bunch of different 30-day challenges and all of that. And we are here 827 days later. And between learning about the brain, just in live observations and in real time, and then learning in my neuroscience courses, and then learning myself, training my own brain, and then training people to use their brain as well. It's interesting. The adult mind is quite interesting because the adult brain doesn't know how it functions, and yet it does function. People are still able to get dressed, drive to a job, take care of other people at this very rudimentary level. It's interesting to see. And I'm saying that because I have said, I am the baddest motherfucker walking the face of the planet Earth. And I actually am. And not because of whatever credentials you see or anything else, but it is because I wake up every day, thank you, Bridget, holding myself personally accountable to become my best. Doesn't matter what's happening in life. Doesn't matter what's taking place. I hold myself personally accountable every single day. And I have been doing that even when I lived in the hood, even when I lived in a trap existence, even when I was at a corporate job, and very few people were doing the right thing consistently over time. And I realized that that takes a disciplined, trained brain. It takes a disciplined, trained brain to say 827 consecutive days going live, and we're moving our trip to Hawaii back to September, so there won't be a consecutiveness there, but then I would just keep counting at that point. It doesn't really matter. So my point is that if you can't be disciplined enough to do something for yourself every day, that's what makes me a bad mofo. It's the consistency. It's the 3,000 and something day Duolingo streak. Let me just find out what it is so I can say it and get the number correct. It's the 3,425 day Duolingo streak. 3,425 day Duolingo streak. Now, is my Spanish improving? It's getting there. But is it phenomenal? Probably not. Probably not at all. However, it's the getting up in 3,425 days. Just getting up, doing Duolingo. 3,425 days. And I'm saying that to say, people can't make it through a 30-day neural rep challenge. People can't make it through a 90-day neural rep existence. People can't make it through 180 days. But people want to act like they the shit. How? What you using? Because it's in your daily. It's actually in your daily. So I don't really care about billionaires. I don't care how many Grammys, Oscars, awards at the job. You sitting on an 839 credit score. I don't care. Because what you do not have is daily discipline. It's daily discipline. So dysregulated people with untrained brains pick the things that make them look good And then they kind of hide everything else and make excuses. Well, I was doing good at the job. Yeah, but you were an absent parent and a very unloving spouse. So that's part of the deal too. You got to bring all that with you. All that with you. I'm starting all of my dental treatment today. And for most of my life, I did not take care of my teeth. My sister took care of her teeth, and I didn't really have a lot of respect for her. So I said, how important could teeth be if she think they're important? Now, she got some severe liver damage from being a fucking alcoholic and a druggie. However, her teeth are white and pristine. White and pristine. So I didn't take care of my teeth. So today, starting today and for pretty much the rest of 2026, I have dental work that needs to go and get done. I have caps that need to be put in place. I have a bridge that needs to go on the side of my mouth. Today, I have to do a deep cleaning, all to get that together. And because of my low white blood cell count, I have to be on antibiotics every time I go and get these treatments. So I don't know how sore my mouth is going to be tomorrow on live. So I may be saying, I might be typing in questions, but I'm going to be live. If I'm alive tomorrow, I'm going to be live. My best version, talking up at the side of my mouth, like, hey, how y'all doing? I'm here today. This is this morning. And some of you say, well, no, Dr. Donna, take a break. If your mouth is sore, you can take a break. No, I can't, because my mouth is going to be sore later today because I didn't take care of my teeth, and that's personal accountability. That shit's on me. That is on me. It's not like me having alopecia completely out of my control. I could have controlled this. I could have flossed more. Now, my teeth are whiter today than they were when I was in college because I do have good dental hygiene now, but the damage is the damage. That's personal accountability. And the unaccountables and the dysregulated people with untrained brains would say, you know what, that's okay. You know, you didn't know what you didn't know, but I did know. I did know. I had insurance. I did know. I knew you were supposed to go and get those cleanings twice a year, and I didn't do that. And I ate a bunch of fucking sugar. That's why I got a bunch of metal fillings in my mouth. I understand. I'm not about the excuse to lie. And I had a conversation with my dentist about getting that tooth fixed. I am going to do it. Not sacrificing the teeth. They already been sacrificed. Didn't want an implant. So that's what I'm going to do. So everything is back almost like it needs to be. But that's why I'm the baddest motherfucker walking the face of the planet Earth. Because I'm going to tell you all about it. I'm not going to be like, oh, no, I've never done anything wrong. My brain is high functioning. No. Today I had to switch the live because I'm talking about the subjuno ACC. And I'm not ready to discuss that yet. So I had to switch the live this morning. I'm like, you're going to run over. You need to get to the dentist. That's not going to bode well for you. So you need to study that. At least at a minimum for today, while you recover from either starting your crowns or your deep cleaning, whichever one it is. So you're going to be laying in bed for the rest of the day anyway. Just read it. You're not going to sleep all day because that's just not what you do. But learning about this brain is hard as hell. And people get comfortable in that. And people want credit for not knowing how their brain functions. And so that's no brainer. That's not how I see that. So I'm only looking at people's individual progress. And Chat and I have these discussions all the time. I don't really care what you and your team doing. I don't really care about any of that. Because as far as I'm concerned, as soon as you say team, I'm adding 86 billion neurons to every person that you say is on your team. And now I'm looking at it from 10 of y'all did that. 20 of y'all did that. Is 30 people on your team? That's what y'all did. Because what happens in an untrained, dysregulated brain, they think more people means people have to do less work. That's why don't nobody like group projects, but the lazy people in the group. The untrained brain people in the group love it because they know they're not going to have to do as much. They're not going to pull their own weight. If you think about a household, and we ran these numbers, Bridget did it with 5 people, that's billions and billions and billions of neurons. That's the result. That's the result. That's no brainer. It really isn't. And fear and comfort, social judgment theory, all these things are stopping you from becoming extraordinary. And then people would like for me to co-sign on their ordinariness so they can feel comfort more than they're already feeling. And that's just not something I'm willing to do. I wasn't willing to do it before I knew about the brain. I'm definitely not willing to do it now. Thank you, Jared. Why can't we all be extraordinary? And that's my question to the group. Why? Why can't every adult everywhere in the world wake up and be extraordinary? Not wealthy. Money only solves money problems. Everybody don't want to be wealthy. It's a lot of responsibility when you start having millions and millions of dollars. You got to file your taxes correctly. You got a bunch of people, dysregulated, untrained brain people asking you for shit. You start doing that fuck you money, dumb shit. So why? Why? It's 9 people on this live. Why? Answer the question. Or go away. You've been trained like a lemming. Just come and watch. I mean, just watch TikTok videos. And then what? Then what you gonna do? Go back to not using your brain? So why? Legitimate question. Why? The brain wants to keep us safe. But the brain also wants to be challenged. And thank you for that answer, Jared. The brain also wants fulfillment. Can you repeat the question? Why is it that there are 5.9 billion adults globally not waking up, believing that everybody can be extraordinary? Why have you accepted your lot in life? And I said, everybody don't want to be a millionaire. Money only solves money problems. Everybody's Black History Month. Everybody want to quote fucking Martin Luther King Jr. with his I Have a Dream speech. Black children, white people can live together. Be us, baby. You gonna be a street sweeper. Be the best street sweeper you can be. Where they at? As Miss Price used to say behind that preposition. No, you. I'm talking about everybody. They've been told that they've never been told this, but we, collectively as an adult population, collectively, all of y'all when y'all were in high school had a dream. When I grow up, I'm going to do this. Are y'all doing what y'all said y'all was going to do in high school? Are y'all doing whatever that thing was when you were sitting there in high school and you said, I'm going to be this thing? I never thought about my brain. Are you that thing that you said you was going to be? Or did you go do it and then you said, yeah, I don't want to do it? Because I was going to be a lawyer. And I got all the way to LSAT, getting into law school and all that. And I was like, I don't want to be a lawyer. Because I had 4 years of college of reading court cases and all. I was like, yeah, I know. I don't want to be Uncle Jerry. I'm good. I'm going ahead and be something else. Then I had a list of 25 when I was in the Army as a second lieutenant and checked all those things off the list except for learn how to play the piano and become a better swimmer. Why not? We think we can instead of we can. Negativity bias. So what stopped you? What stopped you? Because you got to get honest. Because what's happening, and the reason why we're having this conversation is because I read what you all are saying in your things, and it's not big enough. It seems bigger than it was, but if you were sitting down doing nothing and then you start walking around the block of your house, motion feels like growing. It feels like it. But you got 86 billion neurons, distraction, comfort zones, fears, and lack of discipline. So then you settle in. You settle in. And I have a post that says settling leaves you so unsettled. It leaves you so unsettled. And the ACC, we're finding out more about it, is part of the problem. So social conformity theory, social judgment theory, the ventral ACC and the subjunal ACC kind of create that environment. I'm going to give y'all one better, and I don't think everybody answered the question, so go ahead and answer the question. Here is what is stopping you. The people around you. No, I thought I wanted to be an accountant. It wasn't what I thought. So the people around you are the reason why you're not extraordinary. And I know that's going to be hard to hear. Right. The people around you. I'm going to use myself as an example, and I'm going to get to the brain. I grew up on Glendale between 12th and 14th. Linwood and Woodrow Wilson, the cross streets. And if Caramel Bonet was on there, she'd know the area. So when she said Finkel, you say Linwood and Woodrow Wilson is right there with them. And a very small 2-family flat home with a bathtub with the claws on it. This is why I don't tell anyone anything anymore. That's not enough, Coach Tiffany. They can't have access to him. Am I supposed to go from ordinary to extraordinary? It's not a timeline, Jared. It's not assumed. Oh, you know it. The cut, right? Caramel Bonet, Linwood, Woodrow Wilson, Rosa Parks Boulevard. It's the cut. It is the cut. Young Boys Incorporated back in the day. And now I don't live in Michigan anymore because I don't like cold weather. And I don't live in the cut anymore. And I told y'all kind of where I live. And I see, it is indeed. Thank you. I'm like, I see G-Wagons and Rolls-Royce Phantoms like they Toyota Corollas and Camrys. We saw the Cybertrucks way before y'all saw the Cybertrucks and the Teslas. And they got some new shit out. We're like, okay, here we go. You go in Whole Foods parking lot, you see a lime green Porsche SUV, a lime green Lambo, every vet, it is annoying at this point. Like, okay, got it. Here goes another wrapped Range Rover. It's not a big deal, honestly and truly. Once you see it enough, and it just kind of fizzles out. So that's not my existence anymore. But it's not my existence anymore because other people aren't doing well. My neighbor down the street is the director of security for the Lions. He literally is. He lived 2 houses down from me back in the day. And so there are people doing things, judges and lawyers and all of that in Detroit. Very familiar with them. Hell, I went to high school with Kwame's ass. He was an 88. I was a 91. The mayor that got arrested. And oh, by the way, my uncle was part of the legal team that was trying to get them not all them years that they got. So anyway, yeah. So how did I get here versus them? And it's my brain. My brain, amazing brain. I'm not telling you that the name drop. I don't give a fuck about that shit. Y'all know that. But the point is the people around you. And so, Tiffany, you said, I'm not really telling them anything. And that's not the answer either. And somebody said that. But people are not using their brain. And it's very, I won't say disconcerting for me. The support was never there for me ever. It was dysfunctional daily. Yes, and the support was never there for me either. I think that's why my higher power chose me to do this, is so that because people think, oh, you got to have support. I didn't have support. I went to CAS. Cameron Bonet knows where that is. I had 8 classes. I would sit at the dining room table. The phone was to my right. The door was to my front. And the TV was connected to the living room. And so either the phone was ringing, somebody was coming in the door, or somebody was sitting in the living room watching television while I was trying to do my homework. And because I did not have a headboard or a desk in my room, I had to sit at the dining room table and try to get that hard-ass work done. Then I had 2 free hours in theory catching a 59-minute bus ride from my home all the way downtown to CAS, and then another 59-minute bus ride the other way. You have to be smart to get into CAS Tech. Yes, ma'am. Get in and graduate. Because we have 1,400 freshmen and only 602 of us graduated. So 800 of us didn't make it to that June 1991 graduation date. So my point is, in that environment with my family on drugs and alcohol and everything else, I graduated from CAS on time. I graduated from Eastern Michigan on time, and I became Dr. Donna. So Caramel Bonet is telling y'all that was the cut. It is indeed. You got to be smart as hell to go to CAS and graduate with 0 visibility of support. And I was a business administration major with the hardest. I took all the hardest teachers in the school. That's why I keep saying I'm like that. I don't really care because it's not about having support, because the support lends. So if you look at all the people who have support, they had additional people with 86 billion neurons helping them. And now if you look at those results, is that the results of multiple 86 billion neurons? Or did the 86 billion neurons that help them just get them to one whole complete person? That's why I don't really, when people start saying teams and all of that, I start doing real leader math. Because if you say you had support, because I'm looking at me not having support. And so I'm like, oh, so you had some more adults? You had a whole team? And this is the results? So teamwork makes the dream work, but that means everybody should be working at a high level at that point, set and maintain high standards, and that's not happening. So the untrained, dysregulated brain says, we all gonna come together and help this one person. And see, we all work together for this one person. That one person got to be badass. If you have that many 86 billion neurons, if you have that many brains. So if you start looking at it from that perspective, how many brains were in the room to let that one brain do what it's doing? So if you look at celebrities, they have agents, they have business managers, they have stylists, they have all those people. And then we see that. That's why I never really been, I didn't know why I wasn't impressed with celebrities. But that, got a whole team getting them dressed, getting them lashes, getting them beards painted now, all of that. And then that's what we see on a red carpet in a movie that you get to take multiple takes. I've been on sets. I was on Born 5. Get to take after take after take after take to get it right. We don't get take after take after take in our lives. And then somehow we sitting at home impressed. You got to get yourself dressed. Carmel Burnett, you got to go on Finkel and deliver mail. Jared, you in the distribution center. Bridget, Crohn's disease. Daisy, you stitching and stitching and stitching and stitching. Tiffany, you over here looking at all this forensic ass shit like this is fraud. Every day, you manage to get your kids off somewhere, get yourself somewhere, and we supposed to be impressed with somebody with a whole team to get dressed. They didn't even have to go to the mall. Y'all got to go to the mall or somewhere and pick out your own damn clothes and put them on and see if they fit. Take them to the cleaners, wash them yourself. That's not impressive. It's more brains. So that means whatever the thing is that they helped you to do, it should be extraordinary. I got one album coming out with 12 songs that's now 3 minutes long, and it was a whole team in the studio for months. They're not using their brain. They're not using their brain at all. So I'm not hating. I'm evaluating. How many people was there? You go look at somebody, look at movie credits, look at albums, sound people, look at the concerts, a whole team. Whole team. Cardi B's concert kicks off today. Whole team. And we came across somebody whose child was doing the sound for the Beyonce tour, and they said it took 5 airplanes, cargo airplanes, to ship that damn shit every city that they went in. 5. And I think they condensed it from 7. All that stuff had to be on cargo planes and then sometimes shipping containers to get to where it is in the past when it's overseas. That's a lot of people. And she gave a 3-hour show with 500 people, making sure it went down. And for everybody with these big tours. Taylor Swift, everybody. All of that. But when you have a trained brain, you start thinking like that. Now you like, wait a minute. Wait, hold up. I just said me and my team, me and my team, me and my team. Senior level managers at organizations don't do shit. Everybody call up to them. By the time you get the director, senior VP, and all of that, you just got direct reports. And they're looking at their direct reports. You're just getting reports all day long. And then you get on a couple conference calls, and I was that way before the Zoom teleconference calls. And that's it. You're not doing shit. So if anybody's ever wondering why I say I'm the baddest motherfucker walking the face of the planet Earth, because I ain't got no damn team. I don't have a team. Ain't no graphics team. I don't have a team handing me this me in chat. Ain't no team coming up with topics. Do you realize that that's 827 different topics, and double that from September 6th till today? Because now I'm doing 2 lives a day. And what I'm showing you is what's possible with your amazing brain. And so, Jared, if you're here, it's not a matter of how much time it should take you to be extraordinary. It's in the ordinary things that you do every day that you don't think are going to add up, but they do. That you're thinking, oh, this doesn't matter. So it's over time that you look back. Jared, you got to be on book 20 by now. That's what's making you not Lazy J anymore. Your restart. And then you texting the kids, hey, I got to be a better dad. I got to be a better husband. So it's not a matter of getting there. It's a matter of being better every day. It's improvement every day. And so this world has taught us that we can do, once we get here, ain't no there. It's Galaxy. Ain't no there. I mean, I became Dr. Donna 18 years ago. I can't be resting on that shit. That shit was atheist people in college now. In the time that I became Dr. Donna, or about to graduate from high school, whole people was little bitty babies, and now they grown, about to go out into the world. I can't be talking about, yeah, so when I was working on my doctorate, and I ain't got shit past 2008. How that makes sense? That's some thousands and thousands and thousands of days in 18 years. That's what I'm saying about using your brain. Every day, all day. What's possible today? What's possible today? That's all the point I want to convey is what's possible today. Not that I get through the day, did I do some random ass, regular, untrained brain checklist bullshit that was handed to me back in 1972. No. If you, I mean, and I'm watching Nola, I'm watching y'all, and don't get me wrong. Y'all are improving for the people who are actually in neural reps. I'm not specifically saying you're not improving. What I'm saying is go bigger. Take risk and challenge yourself at a bigger level, because you're doing it, but are you doing like for real? Like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do it. Yesterday I went live and I told you I was going to start gaming, and I'm going to publish the live because the gentleman from the Bronx Boogie Down, J Bug, Jordan, helped me because we didn't know what the fuck we was doing, and that was on my Surface Pro, and I have gaming hair. So if you ever go forward and you see me with a blonde flip wig or long blonde hair, I'm not Dr. Donna at that point. I'm gaming Dr. Donna for Braintastics. So I'm on TikTok. So I did that on purpose. So if you're like, oh, she live, what you talking about? Why she get that blonde hair on? That's my gaming hair. And we battled. He told me what to do, and Nola was there to support. Ali came in, and we won the battle, but that wasn't the point. The point was I didn't know what I was doing, and if you don't know, ask. So Jordan came. I said, hey, Jordan, here, let me tell you who I am. This is what I'm doing. How we do this? He was very helpful. And I said, when I get to this live, is it okay if I put it on my YouTube channel? He said, yes, because I'm a novice in that. But there are a group of people, just like Jared challenged me to start working on my lyricisms, my MC skills. Jared, you can tell me if I'm improving. I feel like I am improving in that capacity. There are people who only come on TikTok to watch and battle and play the games. But they need to know how their brain functions too. So I'm doing that now too. In addition to everything else that I'm doing. Opened up a doggone Amazon store because my mama said she can't make no money doing that. Well, we're about to find out. So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that doggone insulin registering and your heart beating, and you like, yeah, what they gonna say? Fuck them. They gonna say something either way. Those type of things that you never thought you could do. Now, I'm not saying go be a stripper. But if that was your lifelong journey and you want to be an old head out here popping and dropping it, letting them know, then hey, go try it. You never know. You might be there because sometimes people want to see an old one out there instead of a young one. But playing it safe, I call that calculated risk. It's calculated. So I'm saying go do big shit. I took my wig off on the live. Some sick of motherfuckers talking about my wigs. I got alopecia. That's why I wear wigs. This wig is crooked. That's why I don't have a problem adjusting it with this mirroring. So I'm saying, yes, you are doing the neural reps. Yes, you are doing better than you were doing last year. But I'm also saying in order for big shit to happen, you got to take big ass risk. You got to take big ass risk. You got to take big ass risk. You don't leave Glendale between 12th and 14th and end up in Las Vegas in a better neighborhood, a much better zip code by chance. By chance. You don't, that's not how you, especially not from my starting point. You definitely, with your daddy walking down the street fighting your air and your mama getting drunk at barbecues and beating people up. That's not how you don't go, yeah, see, that Kiki Palmer thing, 2 + 2 is 2, then you can't, you can't say, you see me sitting there on the porch sucking my thumb playing Jackson in my mama grocery store, and you say, see that one right there, that one with the pigtails, she about to do some big shit. She about to do, no. You don't know what big risk you want to take? Okay, well, I think that's an opportunity for you to figure out what it is, Jared. And the problem is, Jared, for you, sir, it's not a problem. Let me take that back. You've been hiding in plain sight for so long that the thought of risk taking is gone. You see that? That's what Jared challenged me to do. I was on a roll last night before we actually went to the appointment. So the ability to think of a big risk is no longer there. It's sitting somewhere in your hippocampus buried in 1992. Way back there. And this is just a conversation for you to start thinking bigger. Thinking bigger. Because you're like, a risk? Your brain is like, risk? ¿Por qué? What? Huh? Take a risk? What you saying? You can go and chat. Jared, I'm thinking of Evel Knievel stuff. Jared, being in Toastmasters is a risk for you because it's public speaking. And you're not a public speaker. So what you can do is through Toastmasters, when you start giving your speeches, why don't you sign up for General Evaluator, Jared? Toastmaster, General Evaluator, Speech Evaluator. Don't be the timer. Go ahead. When you give a speech, give a real speech. Don't use notes on your first speech. Those are all enormous risks for you. So for people wondering, the thing that makes you go, yeah, I will never. Go do that. Go do that. Me saying, go buy my t-shirts in my store. Me putting up a live goal, financial, all of that. That's shit I would never, ever do. I have no problem doing it now. Or I say I'm a weekend, so it's better than it was before. But it's these things that you never thought. So it's not necessarily Evel Knievel jumping off of 2 cliffs into it, but it's these things that you have made sure you never did. You made sure you never spoke in public, Jared. So speak in public all the time. MC something. Run a team meeting. I get butterflies when I get up and speak. Then Evel Knievel the shit out of that speech. If you're going to use Evel Knievel the shit out of that speech. That is the insolent saying, whoa, what you doing, bruh? And so, because the reason why I'm saying this is because that's stopping you from all the other things on the other side of that. If I had told my daughter in 2021 in February, we were still in masks, no, you can't go build stuff because I don't assemble shit, and no, you can't go outside because I'm a germaphobe, she would have missed out on 5 years of all this personal growth and development. And she would not be the person that she is today. So I had to override my germaphobe butterflies and my assemble, because this is in my book. I don't put shit together. No assembly required. And now I'm out here helping her in a germ-infested damn global pandemic environment. Talk about some motherfucking butt. Y'all didn't see me sneeze and put my, who got Germ-X on their desk at home in their house? Achoo! Hold up, wait a minute. I scratched my eye. Hold up, wait a minute. So that she thought when she was little, she's like, oh, and I didn't really know what you was like. Shh. I'm a shower. I go to anywhere I go, I got shower shoes for the shower. I am more like Mr. Bill. Oh no, but I do it anyway. Yes. Okay, so here's the core truth about most adults, why they are afraid of their brain or why they fear learning about their brain. Most adults are actually not afraid of learning. They are afraid of what learning might reveal. You said what? Real leadership is a mirror. Real leadership is a mirror. When I say go research something for a neural rep, you find out where your reading comprehension is, and now you got to typo what you learned. All this stuff from elementary school, reading, writing, and arithmetic, shows back up. So you are afraid of what learning might reveal. If I say, oh, here's a 30-day challenge and you're going to do squats every day for 30 days. Everybody like, yeah, pow, pow, bam, get that body right. Spring is in the air. But if I say, research the thalamus. First of all, I don't know what a thalamus is. So now that's the part of the brain. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. Research working memory. Working memory? The fuck is you talking about? Is that what's wrong with me? That's why I got CRS. I can't remember shit. Yeah. So learning how the brain works threatens old explanations that you've been using to survive. The fear is protective, not broken. You built this life with all of this scaffolding and everything around it, and here I come with it, and they're always imploding something here in Vegas, tearing something old down and putting up something new. They tore down Tropicana to put the Oakland A's stadium on the strip. So coming in with an excavator, dismantling all your shit because I specialize in discomfort. That's what you're doing. You protecting the house that Cameron Bonet built, that Bridget built, that Daisy built, that Tiffany built, that Denise built. I'm coming to, I ain't remodeling, I'm demolishing. So the brain reason in simple terms is the adult brain is an efficiency machine, and that's what Jared said earlier. So by the time an adult has a brain, it has built many shortcuts. Those habits are locked in. They locked in. They like. And you have created explanations that feel true. Mythologizing. I can't go do that because they're not going to let me do that. That whole narrative. I talked about that yesterday with African Americans and European Americans. This whole black-white thing. It works. Because it's not true. It was built on a house of lies. But the narrative works for both sides. That's why I'm still here. So you got a bunch of explanations that feel true. They feel true. Why? Because if you tell a lie long enough, you forget what the truth actually is. So the lie becomes the truth. It's embedded in your hippocampus and it's a basal ganglia loop that repeats itself again and again and again and again and again. So it must be true because I do it all the time. The truth is I did not take care of my teeth. The truth is my mouth is going to be in pain. The truth is I'm going to lose some weight because I'm not going to be able to chew. And I got to eat every meal just to stay the size I am. So I'm probably going to dip down to 118 when it's all said and done. But once the work is done, then I'm going to get my weight back up. But I did not take care of my teeth. So whatever pain I experience for the months that this is going to take place, that's just on me. I'm not going to say, well, I can't do lives anymore because my mouth hurts. I might be doing that, but the lives will still happen. Everything will still. I got 5 teeth pulled and took that day off. And the next day, mouth still bleeding. I'm at an appointment with my daughter. On the eggs. Yeah, because that's just on me. That's personal accountability. So learning neuroscience introduces new information that may say, that wasn't a personality trait. That was a circuit. You wired it. Lazy J sitting in the doggone recliner. That wasn't fate. That was conditioning. Social conformity theory and social judgment theory. That wasn't just how you are. That was trainable. The brain reads that as risk. Jared said, I get butterflies when I go talk. I got to do that. So, butterflies are beautiful. Mariah Carey named a perfume at it, if I'm not mistaken. Butterflies are beautiful. You ever seen a butterfly just in nature, minding its own business, just going to do big shit? It's a beautiful thing to see. Just lay on a leaf, look. So here are some everyday examples. You drive the same way to the store for years, and someone shows you a faster route. Instead of excitement, you feel annoyed, defensive. I'm fine with my way. My way works. That's not logic. That's the brain protecting the certainty. So you built this safe ass cocoon existence to protect yourself from other untrained, dysregulated brains. And now someone comes to you and gives you new information, aka, hey, you want to learn how your brain works? No, I'm good. I wasn't good in school. This ain't school. This is real life. All that stuff you said you wanted to do that you couldn't figure out how to do, you got to learn how to strengthen your brain. Then your whole life is going to change. That feels strange. But you could stop feeling brain drain and then turn it into brain gain. Listen to me. It's real simple, you see. Okay. Next, money habits is another example. An adult says, I'm just bad with money. When they learn how decision circuits work, a new thought appears. Wait, I could train this? Because we always talk about financial literacy. Financially literate. We're gonna get your credit score right. We're gonna get your credit score. We're gonna get all your credit cards out of the way. But if you are an emotional purchaser and your credit gets back up, you're just gonna go get more credit. If you don't get to the root cause of your spending habits, it won't matter. It will not matter. If you don't have an actual, and I like The Richest Man of Babylon. It's a very good book about 70-30-20, 70-20-10. I also have the rule, if you can't pay for it twice, you can't buy it once. If something costs $500 and you had $1,000 sitting somewhere, you can't buy it. That helps too. But when you are fulfilled and you're working on your personal legend in your life, somehow you don't need retail therapy anymore. Somehow the immediate gratification, the guy that had a new when it dropped in a do. I'm a sneakerhead. I've showed y'all my sneakers. I don't have expensive sneakers anymore. I don't. I shop in the kids section and the little boys section to get my sneakers. Finally have a new pair of actual pair of Cheryl Toe patent leather Adidas. They were $54. $54 with tax, somewhere around there. I know they wasn't 60. But what happens is this creates fear because responsibility increases, old excuses dissolve, and identity gets challenged. You actually now have to start thinking before you spend. Think before you spend. Think before you spend. If you are a person that's always putting it on a debit card, and credit card, whatever, your ass need to walk around with cash. Now you got to go get cash. You might have to go to the bank and stand in line or go to the money machine. And now you watching yourself. It's easy to spend $100 on a debit card. But if you got $5 worth of $100 and you got to count that shit out, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, you like, hold up. It's a lot of fucking money. Don't let it be dollars. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't want it. Fuck it. I don't need it. But that will require mental bandwidth. That will require your PFC to be strong enough to say, okay, you're going to buy it. Go get that money out the bank. And now go spend that $4,000. Now what? You got to see it. And they got to go in the vault and get it. You can't go at a certain amount. You got to sit down and talk to the teller. Because they're like, oh shit, we ain't got enough cash. You have to go to this branch over here. I called them and told them you're coming. Now you got to do all that. Now you start really rethinking your decisions. Example number 3, relationships. I've always been emotional. I'm just loyal. That's my problem. I'm just loyal. I need people. To do what? If you start saying, I need brains. I have a Now Hiring Friends blog and video. If you actually had to hire the people, if you think about it, you are the CEO of Me Incorporated. And if you actually had to hire people to work in your organization, would the people in your current life make it through the hiring process to work in your organization? I used to tell when I was dating, I'm like, I ain't looking for a husband and my daughter don't need a daddy. I'm not impressed with none of that bullshit. I don't care about that. Yeah, I love kids. I'm like, I don't like kids. I like my kid. I don't like kids. Key, I sent you a follow-up. I ain't heard from you unless you just sent it this morning. You got an Instagram from me. Good morning. So learning how emotional circuits and social conditioning work, we can threaten relationship choices, because that's what you're finding out about the ACC. Tolerance patterns, the VACC and the SGACC, and who they've allowed to have access to them. I did a whole TikTok live on who got access to you. Who got access to you that didn't earn it? Who? They just call you. doo-doo, show up at your house uninvited. One thing about me as an adult, I always made sure I lived far away from you. Wasn't I was just in the neighborhood. No, you wasn't. No, you wasn't. No, you wasn't. You gonna drive far, you gonna waste some gas, might be a gate involved. I ain't never lived off of, because I lived on a major street when growing up. Glendale is a through street. You can go from one end down to the lodge. So it was a busy street. It's like, yeah, I don't like this. You can't just be driving past and see my house. It's gonna be some trees. You have to go through something. You ain't gonna be able to look to see if the car is in the driveway. You ain't gonna just be popping up over here. If you do, you might get your life might change. So the brain goes, abort mission to destabilizing. She's telling me to make everybody in my household personally accountable. Yep. Y'all seen my child? I ain't lying. She knows, stop being personally accountable. Deuces. I'm not settling for that. I'm not doing it under no circumstances. I gave birth to you. I don't care. I stopped talking to my mama. I'm her namesake. I don't care. If you are dysregulated with an untrained brain and personally unaccountable, you don't get access to me. You do not. What have you done to earn access to me? Well, how dare you? People no, that's some bullshit y'all said. Untrained, dysregulated brains say that everybody should have access to you. Why? I'm looking at your brain. What did your brain bring to the party? Damn fucking podcasters and alphabets. What did you bring to the table? How many neurons you got? How many neural pathways you got? What's up with your brain? What's your cognitive thought process? How you problem solve? The fuck? Everybody's talking about money. That ain't enough. I told y'all to walked out of millionaire houses like, fuck you. I don't give a fuck about this mansion or that fucking boat. And went back, and I had the nerve to be living with my mama in a room at her house and said, fuck you. Regrouping. Got a 540 credit score. I don't give a fuck about this bullshit. Fuck you. And this Bentley and these fucking cars and this 3-car garage. I don't care. Parking in the damn driveway with a 540 credit score. It ain't that no more, but that ain't the point. Like, I don't care. I don't care what you doing. You ain't about to be trying to make me feel inferior because you think that you got some fucking money. I don't care. That ain't enough. I know y'all. And then I was meeting with somebody on business, and guess who shows up to meet with the person that I was meeting with next? That motherfucker. I said, I know this ain't this motherfucker right here about to meet with who I just met with. Get the fuck out of here. He ain't got as much money as he said, because he's sitting with that one. Hey. You know, if you got to go meet the person at their spot where they're like, yes, and so, because that's where they hold all their meetings at, then he the one with more money. I said, get the fuck out of here. He ain't got as much money as him. I knew I left for a good reason. Anyway, Elliot Taubman was that motherfucker's name. All right. Okay, anyway. What's actually being protected? Adults fear learning their brain because it may require them to update old beliefs. Stop blaming their circumstances. Well, you know, I didn't have both my parents in the home. You know, I grew up in the hood. So did I. Shut the hell up. Stop outsourcing their authority, because that's what's happening. Me and my team. Oh, you outsourced it, all your growth opportunities. Okay. Roger that. Because what I hear again, if you outsourced it that, you must be doing bigger stuff. What are you working on? If you got a team, I want to talk to you. What you working on? Because you got to be working on. If they doing that shit, what you doing? You might, this some top secret. Do I got to sign an NDA? Because I want to know what you working on today. Nothing. They doing it. Everybody took that forward quote. I don't have to be an expert. I don't need to know how to do that. I hire people to do that. That's what everybody did. But it's still Ford's walking around. And Ford said that after he fought Alma and everything else to get that Model T on the road. So don't let the smooth taste fool you. He knew what he was doing. And wasn't nobody going to make too many decisions without him. So take ownerships of outcomes. You're not going to do that. That's personal accountability. Oh, by the way, my Uncle Jerry was a lawyer for the Fords too. Yeah. That's not fear of neuroscience. That's fear of change with accountability, personal accountability. So that's what's happening, is that your old beliefs gonna have to go away. Your circumstance, you're not gonna be able to do that. That's why an everyday person had to do this. Because if I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, well, you say, well, you had both your parents, you guys went on vacations and all that shit. You're like, no, we went to Boblo Island and Niagara Falls and Belle Isle and went on a giant slide. That was my childhood. Waiting for the ice cream truck to come down the street, and on payday, we get ice cream. So why kids don't have this problem? I'm glad you asked. Because kids are expected to learn. They're expected to change. And they don't have decades of identity built on explanation. I never came down to Kings Island, but I did go to Cedar Point too. Yeah, I'd never been. My cousins went to Kings Island, but we didn't go because that's too far. You know, Toledo, I mean, where Cedar Point is, that's a stone's throw away. And adults have stories. Neuroscience rewrites stories. So you have a life built on explanations. Well, the reason why what happened was, well, when I was over there, you got a life full of explanations. Regulation reframing. Here, this is important. The fear is not dysregulation. It's a normal brain protecting stability. A signal that learning matters and evidence is the information and is powerful. So it isn't just, I'm going to just push past this. You have to empower your brain to feel safe updating. That's why you have to create an environment. Your home environment has to have neural clarity. So you can go and plug in and everybody in the house is in their default mode network, empowering themselves. People don't have brain conversations, and I want to normalize that. People go to the gym and say, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I got to get rid of the spare tire. I'm doing ab work. You know what I'm saying? I was in the Zumba class. I was spinning. Now you're doing what's the name on the bike? The name is escaping me right now, where you can see the screen and everybody's in the class. The Peloton is what people are doing now. And you got the apps and all these other things. So there was a time when exercising was not a thing. Healthy eating was not a thing. Vegan and all of that. No gluten and all. We weren't talking about that. We go get some food, we eat it, and then we're done. And that's well, food was real back then too. So you didn't have to do all of this. So talking about the thalamus, having a conversation. Imagine if you go to the Memorial Day is the first summer cookout. And you go there and people are saying, yeah, so you know what? The other day when I was in my default mode network, I was doing some self-reflection. And here's the conclusion that I drew from that. You know, remember back in the day when I really understand why now. So you start having those conversations instead of, did you see this TikTok video? Hey, this is so funny. Here she come with her ass. Get on my damn nerves. You won't be doing that anymore. You'll literally be talking about it, not the vagus nerve. You won't be talking about taking magnesium. Oh, I'm taking some melatonin so I can sleep better. You'll be saying, you know what? My adenosine yesterday, because I was doing so much neurological work, I was thinking so much that normally I take my nap at 2. But because of the work I had done, my adenosine was all the way up. I took my nap at noon yesterday. That's hopefully, God willing, higher power of the universe. Those are the conversations that people start having because it feels different. It feels different when you know what's happening up here and you can actually do something about it. You can trace it and you can stop it. Or you can create a new neural pathway, Hebb's law, firewire, boom, boom, synaptic connection, and now you just reinforce that neural pathway. That would be amazing. That's the objective. That's why I study the brain, master the brain, teach others how to do the same. That's how the people in the world will forever be changed. The world needs to change. And we, as the adult population currently, are the ones that are responsible for that. So you can't say no to the neural reps. If you have offspring and the offspring has offsprings, you are abuela and abuelo now. Gigi and Papa, Mama and Papa. That's the legacy that you leave behind is neural capacity, not no damn money. You could leave an 18-year-old $1 million with no financial literacy or anything else, or you can leave them knowing how their brain functions so that they can be high functioning. They're going to actually go off and do way bigger, better, bolder, badder shit than what that $1 million, $2 million could ever do. That's what's going to happen when you learn how your brain functions so you can become high functioning. So real leaders are not fearless. I have fear. I do not want to go to this dentist appointment. And I know this shit is my fault. So I'm going to go in 10 toes down. Sore. I already have my mashed potatoes made, ready to go. I already got some eggs. I already got some Greek yogurt. I already got some ensures. And I got some chicken noodle soup for the next 2 to 3 days. So I know what I got to do. And I got some Tylenol. There you go. Because now I can take that. But we are willing to update it. So learning how your brain works doesn't take anything away. It actually gives you options. As Remy's mom says, don't make me weigh them shits. But I'm saying weigh them shits. Because what you don't have right now are neurological options. Completely. Neurological options. And options are power. Options. I got options. That's where my power comes from. Powerful. People say knowledge is power. No, it's not. It's the application of knowledge is powerful. When you got a lot of knowledge, you got a lot of options. You got a lot of options. I have been in a lot of rooms because I got a lot of options. People who are like, you know what? We just like you. Come on in the room. They're like, that motherfucker's smart as hell. Hey, we want you to be on this. Or we want you to be on that. Hey, do you know about this? All because I taught myself how to read and learn. I taught myself how to read. Miss Price couldn't teach me how to read. Miss Glacier couldn't teach me how to read. Miss Gates, Miss McClanahan, Miss Dasgupta. They didn't teach me how to read. They said, read this. I'm in my dorm room like, fuck, 9 minutes. Timing myself, doing Donna math. This how many hours you coming to the hell? No, I ain't coming to shit. I got 40 pages to read today. No. I couldn't sell none of my textbooks back. I'm writing in the margins. I had to have new textbooks and all of that. That's how come I ended up with the damn 65 cents for 3 weeks. Options. And that's what's wrong. You think you need to go to another human being for some options. That ain't been my doggone process. I've not had a bunch of, I could call and I could call and I could call. If I was on that show, remember the thing when you could call a lifeline and ask somebody a question? I forgot the name of the game show. I ain't had no lifelines to call. I'm like, them dumb motherfucker. Roll the dice. Any, meeny, miny, mo. That's the answer. I didn't have that. Okay, I go get a lifeline. No. Life alert. I don't know who coming. Heavens to Bessie, if my daughter's out of town, I might be stuck for falling and can't get up. Who knows? Who wants to be a millionaire? There you go. So you think people, thank you, Daisy, too. You think people are your options. Okay. How many options you got? Like 21 Savage say, a lot. Because that's what I'm saying. If you had 10 adults in the room, high functioning adults, then you got that many more options. Because you got their options too. If you got 10 untrained brain dysregulated adults in the room, y'all might have one option between the 10 of y'all. How many times have you watched the movie? I used to watch the Gangster Trap Queen things, and they said I didn't have a choice. Yes, you did. You didn't have to commit a crime. I cut grass and rake leaves and shovel snow. It was less money, but it was legal money. Dirty hands, clean money. That's what that was. You did have an option. I didn't have any other choice. My back was against the wall. Was it? Or could you not cognitively think your way out of that situation? Is that what happened? So what I'm offering is the ability to create neural options for yourself every single day by doing neural reps, because you don't have, I keep telling you got 86 billion neurons, but you don't even know where they are. You don't even know where they are. You don't even know how to act. And if you did, you'd walk into the room and you'd be like, what are these? These right here, these neurons right here. Look at them. Look at that little beautiful myelin sheath and all of that with them dendritic trees popping off and that axon, that nucleus right there backwards. You despise that response? What response? I didn't have any options. You do, but you got options too. But you're not opting to do them. You opting out of your own doggone neural clarity. You opting out of your own 86 billion. They say people leaving money on the table. You leaving neurons in your brain that have not been accessed. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. I'm going to go get a job. And then what? I got a house, a job, a car, and a spouse. I witnessed students with 500K monthly allowance and dysregulated. Bad combo. No neural clarity. So do not be afraid to learn how your brain functions. And do not be afraid to take risks because you're going to get a lesson. Well, that didn't work. I fucked that all the way up. Yep, okay. Back to the drawing board. Your brain is the most powerful organ in your entire body. And look at Jared over there, like 500K. Nola went to school with kids with trust funds. They are some of the most, poor things. Yeah. The Price of Privilege is a great book. It's too high. It's too high. Yeah, I promise you, when you get around it, it's that. And when you ain't been around it, you think you want to be around it, and then when you get around it, you find out they regular people too, and as just as equally, and sometimes even more dysfunctional. Because don't let it be a lot of money. Now they plotting demises and who get kicked out the will and all of that. You got girls like, I know what his trust fund is. I know what his trust fund is. I know what his trust fund is, and all that. Let me go do this. I told y'all. Kids are sports team owners. I told y'all the high school that Nola went to for a year, the student parking lot dwarfed the teacher's parking lot. It was insane. Insane, because what happened was all the rich kids got kicked out of private schools, so they sent them to her high school. In fucking insane. And they were their cars, not the parent. They weren't driving their mama's Lambo to school. They was driving their Lambo to school. Crazy. Just insane. And was barely passing. Yep, your kids' high school as well. The kids' car is better than the teachers. Yep. Insane. And what are they all doing now? NOTHING. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not a damn thing. Nothing. Standing next to their new car doing nothing. Can't get a Nepo baby to do shit right. Ain't they useless. Useless. Ain't doing nothing. That was their best time. They get the new shit, the Supreme shit, Louis Supreme Camp, it dropped. They got it at school. Next day, got it on. Already knew it was on the way. They sitting there with all everything. Gone for the whole summer. Where are you summering? Come back, ain't doing shit at all. Not a doggone thing. They zip coded people. Oh, you live in the 135. Oh, and 134. Oh, yeah, they do live in the 134. Y'all thought 90210 was no, they do that. They was zip coding the shit out of people. Yep, that part. Okay, so that's all that I have for today. Does anyone have any questions for me? Anyone have any final statements before I go pee and get ready for my YouTube live? Yep, nice watch, no mental drive at all. And the parents checked out. One person literally had their own apartment. Their parents was traveling all the damn time because they were 18. So they had their own apartment, everything. They got themselves up, went to school, everything. Hadn't seen their parents in months. Where am I neurologically when I'm weighing the options, but I get stuck choosing? Where am I neurologically when I'm weighing the options, but I get stuck choosing? You are stuck in a rut. you are at your fear wall, and you're literally attempting to override your beliefs. So you're sitting in your ventral ACC and your SG ACC, and you're not accessing your cognitive ACC. So that's why you have to do the daily neural reps, because you need new information. So the ACC will only change with permission or data, evidence. And you have to present that evidence in a way that they go, okay, so you either need to say, permit. We don't live in the hood no more. So in my case, you can put the bat and the tire iron down, okay? No brandishing weapons. You can catch a case for that. Put that shit down, okay? Put it back in the car and donate the bat. Do that. And then now you need evidence. So now you have to do the work every day so that the ACC says, oh, okay, I got it. We're not slapping the shit out of nobody no more. Okay. No, you should. We're not doing that anymore. And now you have all these other options. No, ma'am. It's okay. I'm about to say this line. There's a water splatter if you start doing that, so you can tell the pattern of what happened with that. One good blow will just take somebody out. You're too close, and now there's evidence that might get on with the length of a bat. There's more distance. Yep. There you go. So yeah. Yes. All I was doing. All I was doing. That was it. And I blacked out. So I don't know what happened. I actually don't remember what happened. I remember us walking, and then I don't remember nothing else after that. Yes, ma'am. I don't remember nothing else. I don't. Polygrams are not admissible in court. Okay. But I passed all of that. That was Dee Dee from D. I'm Dr. Donna now. Yes. My pleasure, Monique. So in summary, ladies and gentlemen, you have an amazing brain. You have 86 billion neurons. You actually do have options. Now you have to create those options yourself. That's on you. That's your responsibility, on you, because it's your brain. So whatever you don't have in your life, you don't need 15 other people, because if they're not using their brain either, y'all still don't have enough options. It's going to be a dysregulated, untrained brain option all the time. It's not going to be the best option. Be the best is one of the 74 principles for leadership, and you won't have that. Set and maintain high standards. That's why everybody around you has to be personally accountable too, because then you increase your options. You actually increase your options. My daughter is now cooking. I can't tell you what a relief that is to finally live with another adult that actually can go cook lunch versus, because I had to change my diet. I cook dinner, you cook lunch, you clean as you go. The kitchen is clean for the next person to cook. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing when you live in a house with somebody else that's financially responsible as you, and they not like, yeah, so I always wanted this, so now I'm gonna need some money for this. It's an amazing experience. Amazing experience when everybody in the house is using their brain. It's beautiful. It's going to be different. That's all I can tell you. So when you do it, you lead by example. You be the first, and then everybody else, the house will follow suit. Whole life-changing experience. Such a neural clarity. Everybody's using their prefrontal cortex. Everybody's using emotional regulation and basically self-governing themselves, self-regulating themselves, apologizing when they're wrong instead of arguing and trying to defend their wrong behavior. It's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing, and I want that for everybody. I want that for everybody so you can live in peace. People always say, rest in peace. Fuck that. Live in peace. Why we can't live? Why we gotta die to be in peace? That's dysregulated in the mug. That's an untrained brain saying, rest in peace. I hope you rest in power. No, live in power. Live in peace. Do that part. Then you know they're going to rest in peace. Because I'm like, how? How they going to rest? Who? How they going to rest in peace? Well, it was chaotic while they was here. So hopefully they can't. They cannot. Okay. All right. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be back here tomorrow. Don't know how I will be speaking or talking. I might be mumbling. I might be in the chat. We might be having a little silent little chat thing going on. Might have to do it from my computer so I can type better. Yes, sir. You go neural clarity. You go neural pathway your way out of it, Jared. You're going to use your neural options and you're going to get out of it. And it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. And what will happen is because you're taking the stairs and you're doing it incrementally, you're doing it incrementally, you're going to be who you say you are. People lie about who they are because they skipped the line and left the skills behind. They skipped the line and left the neural pathways behind. And so that's why sometimes when you're talking to people and they represented themselves as something, then you really get to talking and you're like, that ain't adding up. Because it's a lie. It's step by step, brick by brick. That's what it is. It's day by day. It's actually in your daily. And so if you feel like you're not making enough progress, just go back to what you was doing this time last year. Just go look at it. If you're a person that posts on social media, go look at those photos. And then the final thing that I would say, I know I'm like a Baptist pastor right now on First Sunday trying to get money out your pockets. I'm sorry, take up offerings. Okay. What you will finally see, how you know that you're actually growing, is the things that you used to do will not bode well for you. They will not. You used to have on jewelry and all of that stuff, and none of it won't even feel right. You'd be like, yeah, no, I don't want to go. I'm good. Y'all doing what? No, I'm going to take a nap. And you won't need to do those things. You won't need to wear those things. You won't need to purchase those things. You won't need to go there. You won't need to show a motherfucker. All of that will go away. And you will find yourself saying, you know what? I think I'm going to go read this book. Yeah, I'm going to go. You know what? I would normally have 5 coffees a week. I'm going to just switch to tea. I'm going to put that money in an account automatically. So that's what you need to start paying attention to as well, is what you no longer are doing and opting to do or opting out of. That's when you know you are getting to your new higher level as well, because that will be your new habit in your basal ganglia. So if you always eat the McDonald's Egg McMuffin and a hot chocolate every day, and you eat it one day and you're like, I don't like this. This is nasty. You know what? I'm going to just have some oatmeal. I'm going to have some fresh fruit. That is your indicator that you are learning, growing, and developing as well. And you're changing, because you won't do that anymore. It won't match who you're becoming. Okay, so thank you for all of the comments and everything that you've done. Now you understand why the brain doesn't want to brain. But the biggest takeaway that you have today is you create neural options. And that gives you more options out here when you learn how your brain functions. And the only way to access those options are through daily neural reps. You start on level 1 with a 7-day neural rep challenge on Instagram. Thank you for your time and your space. God willing, higher power in the universe. I will be back tomorrow, same time, same place, safe space, different brain t-shirt. Brain t-shirts are available on my Amazon shop. You can go to my website, turnarounddoctor.com, click on the Amazon shop on the left or at the bottom of the website, and have a free-for-all, because people need to start having brain conversations instead of the conversations that they're currently having. Take care. Adios. Thank you, Bridget.